Okay, guys, so let's start the session without any further delay. It's already 7:10, so let's proceed with the demo session. Before that, a formal introduction on my name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer, certified from EC Council in certifications such as CEH and ECSA. And I teach courses from EC Council such as certified ethical hacking, web application pen testing, vulnerability assessment, and also tools on SIG, such as security incident and event management tools such as Splunk, Curator, and so on. So today's demo, oh, just a second, guys, getting call back from DURGASOFT itself. Okay, guys. I hope you can hear me. One last time confirmation. Sorry, won't bug you anymore. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Perfectly fine. Ramu, Rajiv, guys, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, sure. So today's demo is on Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. This is the latest version of CEH from EC Council, and this is a core foundational course provided. So this is suitable for audiences who are completely new to the cybersecurity domain, and also for experienced people as well who want to do the certification again, and freshers. Okay. So this course contains all the required prerequisites. Okay, you don't need to learn anything else separately. All the prerequisites required, such as the Linux operating system commands or virtualization techniques and basics of networking, everything is included in the course. Okay, so let's proceed with what is hacking. Okay, so this is the first common question that I ask most of the students. So what do you think hacking is? And let's define that. Okay, so we talk about hacking. Hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain access to information system. Now, these information systems could be anything. They could be as small as a mobile phone, a mobile device or Android device, to as big as a web application server. Okay, your task of hacking is nothing but trying to gain access to these information devices without the permission or the consent of the organization. Okay, so you're not going to ask for permission, you're not going to take their consent, and you're trying to attack their target systems and get access. Now, this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. Once the attacker gets access to target devices, he can try to steal the data, destroy the data, or sell the data online on dark website. Okay. After that, now if hacking seems such a malicious task or such a criminalistic task, what do you think is ethical hacking? As the course name itself suggests, the course is on certified ethical hacking. Okay. And whenever there's a term ethical, it means that it is completely legal and completely abiding by the policies and the laws. Okay. So if I have to define ethical hacking, on the other hand, ethical hacking is nothing but the process of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay. Your task is to find vulnerabilities which attackers use, and a vulnerability is nothing but a loophole or a flaw in the source code of the application. So your task as an ethical hacker is to find these vulnerabilities or loopholes in information systems. And again, this is done with the consent and the permission of the organization. And once you find the vulnerabilities, you report them back. Okay. So your task is to find these loopholes or find these flaws in the information devices, and then report these vulnerabilities back so that they can be patched up by the organization. Once the vulnerability has been patched up and once the security has been updated, that closes all the doors or the pathways for hackers to cause any harm. Okay, so you're increasing the security of the infrastructure by trying to perform penetration testing. Okay, as a hacker, you're trying to harm the organization by attacking their systems and get the data. As an ethical hacker, you're trying to penetrate into the systems and find the vulnerabilities and report them to patch them up and increase the security. Okay. Now, depending on these two terms, we can categorize the different types of hackers. Okay, so there's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and finally there's someone known as a white hat hacker. Okay, just a second, guys. Yep. Now, as a black hat hacker is someone who performs hacking for his own benefit or just for fun, without waiting for permission or asking for consent, and he's the bad guy, you could say so. Okay. On the other hand, there is a white hat hacker who is an ethical hacker, okay, who performs hacking for just for finding the vulnerabilities and reporting them back, so that he can increase the security of the infrastructure. Okay. On the other hand, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker. Now, this guy is a mysterious guy. He has both the qualities of a black hat hacker as well as a white hat hacker. Okay. As a black hat hacker, he tries to get access to information systems without the permission, But once he gets access, he does not misuse the vulnerabilities. He reports them back for a bounty. Now that bounty could be anything. It could be a prize money reward or a mention in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Now all these types of hackers, whether that be a black hat hacker or excuse me, or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, they perform hacking or ethical hacking by using a set of procedures. Okay, and that set of procedures is known as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, the reason why these set of procedures are followed is so that the process of gaining access to information systems or the probability of gaining that access is increased very high. Okay, now various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to sum it up, there are 5 important steps. Okay, the first step is known as information gathering. You can also call it as a reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning. You can also call it as enumeration. Third step is known as gaining access. Fourth step is known as maintaining access. Fifth step is reporting or clearing traces. Okay. Now, again, the reason I've specifically mentioned "or" in the last step is because that last step is going to make all the difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker. Okay. If you're a white hat hacker, you would obviously report all the steps that you have taken until the last 5th step and try to submit it to the organization. If you're a black hat hacker, obviously you'll not report this, but you try to remove all the evidences, which is nothing but clearing all the log files or clearing all the traces. Okay. Now let's basically discuss each of these steps one by one, and so that you have a clear picture of what is being taught in the course and what all you're going to learn. Okay. First step is information gathering. As the name itself suggests, the process of information gathering is nothing but trying to gain as much information possible about the target passively. What I mean by passively is that you're trying to gain this information from third-party resources rather than making any direct or active connections with the target. Okay. Now you could ask me, Shoaib, what kind of information are we trying to actually gain at this step? And the information is as follows. So you try to get information such as IP address information or the range of IP addresses used by the servers of any organization. After that, you try to get who is information, and who is information is nothing but the organization through which their websites are hosted on. So you have DNRs, which are known as domain name registrars, such as bodies like GoDaddy, BigRock, and so on. These people are the people who host your website. So just to get the information of who's hosting your website and since when this website has been hosted or so on. And then later come into DNS records, where you learn all the DNS records of any DNS server of any organization. Okay. After that, we try to get employee details, such as the contact numbers or the email addresses used or the usernames and passwords and stuff. Okay. After that, we find the domain names and the subdomains of any organization. And then we find the operating system information. So what all operating systems are being used by their clients in the organization, or also by the servers on which these websites are hosted. Okay. After all this information is gained, after all this crucial information is gained, then we go to the next step, which is the scan. Now, scanning is a crucial step which gets you extra information which you could not get in the information gathering part, but also a risky step because in scanning you make active connections with the target. What I mean by active connections is that you'll be using tools such as Nmap and Zmap to send packets to the organization, and in response you get some extra juicy information. Okay, scanning is categorized into 3 types basically. There's something known as network scan, then there's port scanning, and then finally there's vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we try to scan the whole network of the organization from our device and try to figure out what all other devices are active in the network. Once you figure out what all devices are active in the network, then you perform port scan to figure out on those devices what all ports are open. Okay, you have something known as logical ports on which various kinds of services run. Okay, now services are nothing but application programs and stuff which run so that your device communicates with other devices using those protocols for programs. Okay. Once you perform port scanning, you can figure out what all ports are open, what services are running on that. Then finally, you perform vulnerability scanning. Okay. For vulnerability scanning, using industry-based tools such as Nessus. So let me show you over here. This is a vulnerability scanning tool. Now, in a real-time scenario, tools such as Nessus are used. And if I log into this, I can show you how the tool works. Yeah, as you can notice, this is a Nessus tool. I'll be showing you how to install this tool and how to use this tool and perform automated vulnerability scanning and generate reports. Okay, so to check over here, these are all the different scan templates. You can perform a basic network scan or an advanced scan or a malware scan or a ransomware scan and a lot more. Okay, so this is automated scanning by using paid tools. I'll also show you manual scan. Okay. After that, after all this is done, after network scanning, port scanning is performed, and then finally vulnerability scanning, we'll also check out the gaining access methods. Okay. Now, a gaining access is a concept which covers a vast variety of topics, but if I list them out, here is the list as follows. Okay. First step that we'll be learning, or the first concept that we'll be learning in system hacking, is how to, in gaining access, is how to perform system hacking. Okay. So you'll learn how to crack or bypass any Windows operating system password. So whether that be Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, or Windows 10, I'll show you how to crack that Windows operating system password or bypass it to get access to the internal files. After that, we'll learn malwares. A malware is nothing but a malicious software. Now within malwares, there's a lot of categories. Okay, there's something such as viruses, there's worms, there's trojans, there's spyware, adware, and a lot of different kinds of malwares. So I'll practically show you how to create each of these different malwares and also how to defend yourself from these separate malwares. Okay. Then there's malwares advanced. Now this topic is not included in the CEH curriculum. We have added this so that students have better understanding of how malwares are created. Okay. Now this also touches on the basics of malware development, where I'll show you basic Python 3 programming and then make you write your own keylogger. A keylogger is a malware which once installed in the target system can capture all the keystrokes. So whatever the user types on his PC, whatever they be usernames or passwords or random content on that notepad file, every single keystroke will be logged and sent to the attacker's machine. Okay, so all his usernames, all his passwords, and all his content that he types will be visible to you on your device. So that is how harmful a keylogger can be. Okay, and I'll make you practically understand how to create your own keylogger by using Python 3 programming language. Okay, again, guys, you do not need to learn Python 3 separately. Whatever concepts are required, I'll teach you them myself. Okay. After that, we'll go with network penetration testing, where in network pen testing, I'll show you all the common day-to-day network attacks that happen in real-time scenarios. Okay, such as sniffing attacks. I'll be showing you a very important tool called Wireshark, which is capable of capturing and analyzing all the packets in the network. Okay, so you can capture all the insecure data, such as HTTP data with usernames and passwords of any user in your same network. After that, I'll also show you man-in-the-middle attacks to capture others' data whenever they're trying to access internet in your network. So we're using a lot of different tools for that. Then we'll learn DOS attacks, which are nothing but denial of service attacks. DOS, and there's another type which is also known as DDoS, distributed denial of service, and I'll practically show you how to perform that as well. After that, we have hacking wireless networks, where I'll show you how to hack into any Wi-Fi router, whether that be WPA or WPA2 security or WPA security. I'll show you how to crack that password of a router. After that comes social engineering attack, where I'll show you how hackers can create fake replicas of any website. Now, whether that be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever, I'll show you how to create exact replicas of any website and host them so that you can capture the usernames and passwords of other people. Again, that is a malicious activity, but again, as a disclaimer, that is not allowed in a real-time scenario on other people because that is illegal. Although I'll show you how hackers perform that and how you can safeguard as well or defend yourself as well from such attacks. Okay, because it is very important to understand how attacks are performed so that you know how to defend yourself as well. So both the attack techniques are discussed as well as the defense techniques. Okay. After that, we learn about web application penetration testing, where in that I'll show you all the common vulnerabilities that usually exist on web applications. And using those vulnerabilities, you can try to hack any web server or get access to the internal databases of that organization. So we have vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, token authentication, file upload vulnerabilities, XXE, XML external attack, entity attacks, and a lot more. So we'll be discussing a lot about web application vulnerabilities and using a very important tool, which is burpsuit. So I'll be showing you the tool burpsuit, which is a proxy tool, which is very predominantly used in the web application pen testing organizations. Okay. Now, after that, we'll go with the vulnerability assessment, where in that I'll show you a tool called Metasploit framework, and I'll explain you what vulnerabilities are, what exploits are, what payloads are, and how do you hack any system by using those payloads or exploits. So if you want to show here, this is a website called ExploitDB. This contains exploits for various different devices or applications. So if you search over here for Windows 10, this shows you all the exploits for Windows 10 that are available online for hackers to use and attack target systems. So if I scroll down over here, this is a verified exploit which will definitely work on any Windows 10 of that specific vulnerability. Okay. And I'll show you how to use this exploit and how to attack any organizations target system if they're using Windows 10, or also in your local network. Okay. After this is done, the next topic that we'll be discussing is hacking mobile phones, where I'll show you how to hack into any Android device, whether that be Android 8, 9, 10, or also 11. Okay. After that is done, we'll discuss about maintaining access. In that way, I'll show you how to maintain persistent connections with any device. So whether once you attack a target system, if the target system shuts down or restarts, we need to maintain an active connections. And by using persistent connections, which are going to stay active even if the user restarts the system or if there's interference in the session, I'll show you how to maintain those connections. After that, the final step is reporting, where I'll show you how to generate a report, a systematic report that you can submit to your management or organization once everything is done, or also how to clear the traces, which is nothing but removing or deleting all the log files from target systems. Okay. So if I've missed out any topic, DurgaSoft will be sharing this course content file with you over here. Just a second. So this course content file contains all the topics that will be discussed in the course. Now, as I've discussed already, before you dive into all these advanced concepts, there's a few prerequisites that will also be included in the course. So I'll be teaching you all about basics of Windows commands and Linux operating systems. The reason why I'll have to teach you Linux is we'll be using a Kali OS. Now, this is a Linux-based Debian flavored operating system. The reason why we'll be using this operating system specifically is because this operating system comes preloaded or pre-installed with all the penetration testing tools. Okay, so we don't need to install any tools separately. These tools are not available with your Windows operating systems, and hence it is compulsory or mandatory for us to learn about Linux. Okay, but again, guys, don't worry if you have no experience on Linux. I'm going to teach you completely from the basics of how to use a Linux operating system. Okay. After all this is done, we will also learn about networking, where in that I'll show you what are IP addresses, what are public IPs, what are private IPs, and what is DHCP protocol, what is DNS protocol. We'll touch on all the basics of networking, on virtualization and Linux commands, and then we'll dive into the advanced concepts of information gathering, scanning, and so on. Okay. So this shows you all the topics that we'll be discussing in the CPH. And at DurgaSoft, there are advanced courses as well, such as web application penetration testing. And in web application penetration testing course, we specifically focus on web application attacks or web application vulnerabilities. So there's an organization called OWASP, Open Web Application Security Pen Testing, which is an organization that gives you the list of all the vulnerabilities that usually exist in web applications. So in this class, I'll teach you all about those vulnerabilities or in this course. Okay. So as a practical part, let's perform a small practical just for the time we have. I'm going to show you how hackers can create fake replica links and try to get user information. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use a YouTube link, a basic YouTube link as well, and try to get information of any device or person who clicks on this link. Okay, so what I've done is I've opened up a YouTube page over here, and now I'm going to show you how to create another link from this YouTube page and send it to any victim and get their device information. So if I scroll down over here, I've a lot of videos. I'll just randomly select any one of them. Let's say I select this one. Okay, so I have a random YouTube video selected over here, and this is a completely genuine page, as you can notice. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this YouTube link to send it to attackers or victim machines and get their device information. So this is a combination of social engineering and information gathering attack, where I'll be using social engineering to trick the user to clicking the link, and then I'll get their information. Okay, so I'm going to copy this link now, and I'm going to paste it on a different website called Grabify. Okay, Grabify is an IP logging site which is capable of capturing all the information of all the victims who click that specific link created by Grabify. Okay, so I'll click on this URL to access the Grabify page, and you can notice over here it is asking you for a valid URL. Now, for my example, I've selected YouTube. You could select any link for that. You could select an Instagram post or Facebook post or a WhatsApp story or whatever it be. Okay, and simultaneously you can share it on social media as well. That link created, you can share it as a WhatsApp status or Instagram direct message or whatever it be, or also via email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to paste it over here in Grabify. Once that is pasted, I'll click on the button create URL. I'll click on I agree and create, and this will generate a separate link for me. Just wait for a while. And as you can notice, I have a new link over here. So there's the original URL, the YouTube URL, and then the new URL. Now, if this seems a bit suspicious, you can change the domain as well. You can click on change domain, and depending on your target's interest, you can select a specific domain. So if your target is interested in dating, you select a dating link. If your target is interested in gaming, you select a gaming link, or programming, and so on. So for the timing, let's say I select cat something. Okay, let's say the target is an animal lover, and I'm selecting a link related to that. And also I can select a path, any random path, let's say image. Okay, I'll click on close, and now this is my new link. Okay, cat something. Now, as soon as I send this link to other people, so I'll copy this and I'll send it to you guys. Let's say I send this on the chat or chat icon. Again, guys, there's nothing malicious in this. Again, this is just a very basic information gathering practical. So I would recommend you click on the link and make it progressive so that you can understand what I'm trying to show. Excuse me. Okay. So as soon as you click that link, please verify to me if you're getting the same YouTube page. Okay, because that is the main agenda. We're sending a link to the attacker just to access a YouTube link. There's nothing wrong in that. So as soon as the person clicks on that link, he should be getting the same YouTube page. So guys, have you clicked it? Has anyone clicked it? Please let me know. Rajiv or Ramu or any other person. If not, I'll try to access this myself as well. And over here, oh, just a minute. If you notice, I'm getting the same YouTube page over here. Okay, so there's nothing maliciously wrong, as you notice over here. As soon as I click that link and I accessed it, I've got the same YouTube page. There's nothing wrong in it. There's nothing malicious in it. But if I go back to my Jdbc page, and if I refresh this, you can notice I'll have a result over here. Let's just wait for that. Oh, Rajiv, did you click on it?
Yes, sir. Access denied message comes, sir.
No, access won't be denied because you can notice I've got the link over here. If I just copy that link and if I paste it over here, you can notice maybe you have a faulty internet connection also. Let me set the link to you again. Okay, but you can notice I've clicked the link and I've got the same YouTube page. And if I scroll down in the device information, you can notice I've got the address as well. So I've got the IP address of the target accessing that link. I've got the screen size. From the screen size resolution, I can notice that this is obviously a laptop. And I've accessed this from the Firefox browser, and my operating system is Windows 10. Okay, so this is my IP. This is where I'm accessing the link from, and this is my operating system information. Okay, so whoever clicks that link will be getting a YouTube page itself, but internally Gravify is actually capturing all that information and displaying it on attacker. So whenever user clicks on it, then his request first goes to Gravify where to capture all the information, and then that gets redirected to YouTube. So I've shown this in the space session as well, the demo session. Okay, this is a very basic practical, but in the classes I'll show you much more advanced ones as well, where you can use any social media website as well to get the usernames and credentials. So that is a social engineering attack where you can get the credentials, also known as a credential harvester attack. And this is a basic information gathering practice. In the classes, we have much more advanced techniques where we don't even require social interaction. Okay, so even without user interaction, you can get the information for any organization, the usernames, the passwords, the email addresses, and whatnot. Okay, but this is a social engineering attack where this obviously requires user interaction. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's session. Nothing more. Any questions that you have, Rajiv? Any questions that you want to ask before I end the session? Hello. Okay. Hoping that Rajiv, you have no questions anymore. That's it for today's demo session. Okay. Thank you, Rajiv, for responding. That's it for today's demo session. I hope you have liked it. If there's any queries regarding the fee or regarding the batch formation, you can contact DURGASOFT and let them know. And I am pretty sure 99% the new batch will be formed and start from Monday. Okay. So hoping to see you in the classes. I hope you have liked the demo session. If there's any queries, you can let me know or DURGASOFT. Yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye. Sorry, Rajiv, what? Only 30-minute session? I didn't get you.
सर अपन अभी आधा घंटा ही हुआ है सर स्टार्ट किए।
हाँ, मतलब कल ज्यादा लोग आए थे, कल डाउट्स पूछे गए थे, तो आधा घंटा मैंने डेमो लिया था और आधा घंटा मैंने उनके डाउट्स क्लैरिफाई किए थे। सो इसलिए वो कल का सेशन जरा लंबा गया। Other than that, demo is usually for 30 to 35 minutes, not more than that. Or I'll teach you, or I'll basically explain you what is taught in the course and what all we specifically go through, what all different concepts we'll be covering. Hello. Rajiv, any other questions, any further questions before I end the session?
No sir, no such questions.
Okay, sure. I hope you have liked the demo session. So that's it for today's session. And I'll see you in the classes. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye sir.
Bye.